Right now, you are sitting somewhere warm, fed, comfortable. You probably ate something today without thinking twice about it. But here's a question that almost nobody asks. What did humans eat before fire existed? Not before restaurants, not before farming, not before cooking. Before fire itself, because fire was not always there. For most of human history, there was no flame, no heat, no cooked meal, just raw food and a hungry mouth. And what happened during that time changed the shape of your skull, the size of your brain, and the length of your gut forever. Let's go back. Not 10,000 years, not 50,000 years. We are going back 2 million years, before Homo sapiens even existed. Our ancestor at that time was called Homo erectus, and Homo erectus had a problem. The world was full of food, but almost none of it was easy to eat. So, what did they do? They ate everything they could find, and we mean everything. The first thing ancient humans ate was fruit. It doesn't. Fruit 2 million years ago was nothing like the fruit you buy today. No selective breeding, no farming, no sweetness engineered for your taste buds. Wild fruit was small, hard, bitter, and full of seeds. It was basically the worst version of every fruit you have ever eaten. But it had sugar, and sugar meant energy, and energy meant survival. So they ate it every single day. But fruit was seasonal. It came and went. When fruit disappeared, they needed something else. So they turned to roots and tubers, underground storage organs, basically nature's hidden pantry, things like wild yams, corms, and bulbs buried beneath the soil. Here is the remarkable thing about roots and tubers. They are almost impossible to eat raw. They are hard, they are fibrous, they are sometimes toxic. Chewing one raw wild tuber is like trying to eat a piece of wood soaked in something bitter. But ancient humans ate them anyway because they had no choice, and their jaws were built for it. This is the part most people do not know. Pre-fire humans had enormous jaws, massive, thick, powerful jaw muscles attached to a bony ridge on top of the skull called the sagittal crest, the same ridge you see on gorillas today. They needed it because eating raw food without fire requires an extraordinary amount of chewing. A modern human chews food for roughly 35 chews per minute. Ancient pre-fire humans chewed for hours, every single day. Raw tubers, raw meat, raw seeds. Hours of chewing just to get enough calories to survive. Yes, raw meat. This is where it gets interesting. Ancient humans before fire were scavengers first, hunters second. They did not chase down animals and cook them on a fire. They found dead animals, animals killed by lions, leopards, and other predators, and they ate what was left, the parts other animals could not use, specifically the bone marrow. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham, who has spent decades studying early human diet, found evidence that pre-fire humans were expert bone crackers. They used sharp stones to smash open the thick leg bones of large animals. Inside was marrow, dense, fatty, calorie-rich marrow. This was the ancient equivalent of a high-calorie meal. Fatty, rich, and exactly what a large-brained creature needed. But here is the problem with raw meat. It is dangerous. Parasites, bacteria, pathogens. A modern human eating raw wild meat would likely get very sick. But pre-fire humans had a different gut, longer, more powerful, capable of processing things our stomachs simply cannot handle today. Their digestive system was enormous compared to ours, taking up much more of their body than ours does, because raw food takes far more energy to digest than cooked food. Your body spends almost no energy digesting a cooked meal. A pre-fire human spent enormous energy just breaking down every single bite. They also ate insects, lots of them. This sounds strange. It was completely normal. Termites, grubs, beetle larvae, caterpillars. High in protein, high in fat, easy to find, easy to eat. Many primates today still eat insects as a major part of their diet. Chimpanzees use sticks to fish termites out of mounds. Our ancestors did the same thing, and probably much more of it. Insects were the original protein bar, convenient, portable, and packed with exactly what the body needed. They also ate eggs, bird eggs, reptile eggs, any eggs they could find. Eggs are one of the most nutritionally complete foods in nature, rich in fat, protein, and essential nutrients. And they require zero cooking, easy to crack open, easy to swallow, no chewing required. In a world with no fire, eggs were a gift. And then there was one more food source that almost nobody talks about: shellfish. Coastal populations of early humans ate enormous quantities of shellfish: clams, mussels, oysters, sea urchins. We know this because of something called shell middens, massive, ancient garbage heaps made entirely of discarded shells. Some of these middens are thousands of years old and stretch for hundreds of meters. Ancient humans sat by the water, cracked open shells, and ate everything inside, raw, cold, straight from the ocean. And here is why this mattered enormously. Shellfish contain omega-3 fatty acids, iodine, and DHA. DHA is the specific nutrient most responsible for brain development and growth. Researchers now believe that coastal shellfish eating may have been a critical trigger for the expansion of the human brain. The brain did not grow because we got smarter. We got smarter because we started eating the right things near the coast. Food built the brain, literally. But then something happened. Somewhere between 1 million and 400,000 years ago, someone discovered fire. We do not know exactly how. Lightning strike, volcanic heat, two stones struck together. But the moment fire met food, everything changed. Cooking broke down tough fibers. It killed parasites. It unlocked calories that raw food kept locked away. A cooked sweet potato gives your body nearly twice the usable energy of a raw one. Suddenly, the same food gave twice the fuel. The jaw began to shrink. It no longer needed to be enormous. The gut began to shrink. It no longer needed to do all the work alone. And the brain began to grow, rapidly, dramatically. More available energy, less spent on digestion, more directed to the most expensive organ in the body. The human brain uses 20% of your total energy, despite being only 2% of your body weight. Before cooking, feeding that brain was a full-time struggle. After cooking, there was surplus. And surplus energy is what built civilization. Language, art, tools, society, religion, science. All of it downstream of one moment, someone holding raw food over a flame for the first time. So, the next time you eat a cooked meal, understand what it actually is. It is not just food. It is the reason your brain is large enough to appreciate it. It is the reason you can read these words. It is the reason you exist in the form you do. You are not just what you eat. You are what your ancestors figured out how to eat. And that changed everything.